Blockbuster deals during the trade period receive all the headlines. It's exciting for fans and always creates storylines heading into the new season. Chris Judd in 2007, Patrick Dangerfield in 2015, Tim Kelly in 2019 and Jeremy Cameron in 2020 are some of the biggest moves we have ever seen. But over recent trade periods, some of the under-the-radar deals completed have had the biggest influence over the competition. They may seem like small moves, but beneath the surface, they can be the difference between winning finals or being stuck outside the top 8. The reality is a majority of blockbuster trades don't work out for the team trading in the star player. Chris Judd, for example, was an individual success at the Blues, winning the second of his Brownlows at Carlton, but the team was never a threat to win a flag and won just one finals game. Whereas West Coast, who got pick 3, pick 20 and Josh Kennedy, in the long run got the best of it. Kennedy and Marston, who got taken at pick 3, were a part of West Coast's 2018 Grand Final success, and Kennedy has finished as a West Coast legend, leading their all-time goal-kicking record. But to be fair, Geelong has been the team to nail their big deals. The first was Patrick Dangerfield in 2015, as they essentially gave up picks 9 and 28 for him. It took him a while to get his premiership, but his longevity and performance has been outstanding. Adelaide essentially got Dean Gore and Wayne Miller in the deal, so it's clear the Cats got a steal. Jeremy Cameron cost the Cats even more, as they gave up 3 first-rounders for their man. He struggled early, but has been fantastic since his Geelong debut season and was a key force in the 2022 success. Combined, they have 6 All-Australians, 4 best and fairest, and a premiership since they have been at the Cats. The huge amount of draft capital spent on them has been well and truly paid off. But besides these 2 trades, the other teams trading 2 or 3 first-round picks for stars in this time period have been let down. 2018 saw 3 of the worst deals done. Essendon gave up 2 first-round picks for Dylan Shield, who has never fully got going. His best year was his first in the red and black, coming second in the best and fairest, but since 2019, he's played 54 of 85 possible games. He has dealt with injury issues all throughout his time at the Bombers, and his production hasn't led them to the heights they would have wished for. Dane Beam's move from Brisbane back to Collingwood was a disaster. 2 first-rounders again led to Beams featuring just 9 times before retiring the deal with his mental health issues. In these situations, it's hard to blame the club as they can't see perfectly into the future, but they do have to deal with the loss of picks. But probably the worst was Fremantle trading for Demon Jesse Hogan. Hogan barely featured, playing 19 games for Fremantle, struggling with off-field issues and injuries. Not only was it a big price for them to pay, but helped other teams get better. The pick 6 they traded to Melbourne helped them get Stephen May, with the pick itself turning out to be Ben King for the Suns. Pick 23 was also Tom Sparrow, a member of Melbourne's 2021 Premiership side. It's also been well documented the haul of picks West Coast gave up for Tim Kelly, and although he did win their best and fairest this season, it hasn't worked out well. It's the teams that have given later picks in the draft for players not getting a game or not as highly valued at their club that have been big beneficiaries. The key in these players is to not have the expectation of them being stars, but good role players who perform their task consistently. Collingwood's premiership side this year is a great place to start. Ruck forward Darcy Cameron was unwanted by the Swans in 2019, so for pick 56, the Pies bought him over. Since 2021, he has played 55 games, and his form, especially under Craig McRae, was a big factor in offloading Grundy to Melbourne. And Bobby Hill, for a second-round pick last trade period, not only got them at the time a potential elite small forward, but after his final series, he's now become an established high-level forward. Throw in former Brownlow medalist Tom Mitchell in a 3-team trade, and it's some of the best business a team has done for a while. It's no coincidence the other teams in the 2023 finals have found great deals in recent years. Imagine Port Adelaide's defence without star Aliir Aliir, who they traded from Sydney for a future second-round pick in 2020. He was mostly played out of position at the Swans, but has been fully utilised as a power player. Carlton landed an elite winger and newfound cult hero in Blake Acres for just a future third-rounder last trade period. In Fremantle's need to release cap pressure to get Luke Jackson, Akers was pretty much given away after a good 2022. If he was to be put back on the market, that price of a future third rounder would be much higher. And the Giants only run second to the Pies in value trades, getting Jesse Hogan for pick 54 back in 2020 and a pressure forward to go alongside him in Toby Bedford for pick 44 last year. The trades for Jordan Dawson and Adam Chera cost Adelaide and Carlton 1 first-round pick each. These guys aren't role players and they still cost a significant draft price, but the Blues and Crows didn't have to sell the farm to get them, making them look like bargains compared to the trades for Shield and Beams in 2018. Even the prices of Taranto and Hopper, who arrived at Richmond combined for picks 12, 19, 31 in the 2022 draft to go alongside pick 7 in this draft, look steep. There is a clear correlation between smart trades and teams making finals. So for the trades done in 2023, which ones have the potential to turn into steals for the future? In the mould of Bobby Hill and Toby Bedford is Tyler Brockman. West Coast acquired him from Hawthorn for just picks 44 and 63. He hasn't even turned 21 yet and is coming off a 15-game season where he flashed his potential. It's unlikely he alone will get West Coast up the ladder, but he has the makings of a long-term small forward. For a future third-round pick, James Harmes settles at the Bulldogs. After 152 games at the Demons, he just fell out of favour, but his two-way running and defensive edge is a unique attribute in the Dogs' middle. He should play at the start of the year and give balance to a Bulldogs midfield that fell off last season. Former Saints in Jack Billings, now at Melbourne, and Nick Coffield, now also at the Bulldogs, each were given away for cheap. They have both played high-level football to match the top 10 picks they were, but getting their bodies right is going to be important. Billings can help Melbourne's forward half with his goal kicking and overall class, while Coffield is a great interceptor and can play on most forwards with his 191cm frame. The Swans fixed their ruck issue, picking up Grundy for pick 46 and a future second rounder. He hasn't reached the heights of his All-Australian seasons, but will relish being the number one man again, while the experience of Taylor Adams will add more grunt to the midfield. Lastly, we move to Port Adelaide, who finally got their big key defender in Esava Ratugolea. For essentially pick 25, he is their new number one lockdown defender. His first half of 2023 was promising, but his injury issues reared their head as he dealt with a hamstring for the second half of the season. He is only 25 and has scope to improve, but if he can do his job well, it allows Alira Lee to intercept freely and Brandon Zerk-Thatcher to play a mix of roles. If he can become a top tier key back for the next 5 to 7 years, then pick 25 will seem like a bargain. Teams that have success next season will have done well in this trade period. There really weren't any mega deals, so the team or teams that can fix holes in their list with cheap pickups from trade will go a long way to finishing in the top 8 in 2024.